Hello, I'm Alex. Love Daphne May. Alex Smith is my name, and I am excited to talk with you today about harvesting vegetables. So I know that can kind of be a tricky thing once you've planted the vegetables and you're kind of wondering when is it time to harvest. Because obviously you have your tomatoes or your zucchinis, things like that, where they are just going to continually be producing all summer long. You can harvest them and they will just continue to produce. But then you have things like your carrots and your beets, lettuces, onions, garlic, things like that. That is just going to be a one-time plant, one-time harvest, and then you have to plant more. So if I were really on top of it, I would plant those, maybe a row of them, and then every couple of weeks I would plant more. And so that you have this like continual. Knowing that maturation ballpark range, I think, is really important, because then you kind of know when to start looking. But I have a little trick, because I'm not super great on paying attention to how long it's been since I planted things. I just tend to go by paying attention to what's happening as it grows, because I am out in the garden every day, and so I'm looking at everything every single day, and I think that just paying really close attention to how things are growing and what it's looking like, I think that's just a really good practice in general. It teaches us to be just like a little bit more present and intentional in all different areas of our life. But for instance, right now I have carrots and beets and onions that I'm waiting to be ready to pull. So the carrots I know are not quite ready yet, and I'll tell you why. But my beets and my onions are, and I will tell you why, and I'll show you why. Okay, so here are my beets that are ready, and one way to tell is just they have these huge, beautiful leafy tops on them. That apparently something was enjoying. And then you'll know, because the top of the vegetable, the way that I kind of tell, is the top of the vegetable starts to show, and you can see how large the circumference is. So I know that one is going to be ready. The same thing with the onions. The top of the vegetable will start to show through just from watering, and that topsoil kind of washing away a little bit. So you'll know when they are ready to harvest. So here we've got all of our good beets and onions. These beets are great to roast up in the oven on parchment. I just take the skin off and I put them in cubes, and then I roast them up in the oven for about 45 minutes at 350. Then I also use the beet greens. They are so delicious and full of good iron. So I'll just take all the beet greens off, wash them, saute them up with garlic and olive oil, and put them in some delicious pasta with lemon and pecorino. My favorite. The spring onions, I will either kind of fry up in oil and put them on pasta like as a little crispy topper, or these ones I think I'm going to caramelize and stick in ice cube trays with olive oil and freeze them, so that when I need some sauteed onions, I can just pop those out. So then I also wanted to show you my carrots. So when I can see the top of the carrot, I can tell these aren't quite ready yet. And so I'll wait another week, and then I'll come back and check it out. So that is kind of how I go off of the vegetables that are growing under the ground that you can't really see. So I hope that is helpful. So yeah, just pay attention to the maturation ranges and start kind of checking out the tops of those vegetables to see if they look full size. And then with your lettuces and your kale, what I do is I just continually pick the leaves around the bottom, and then they'll just keep sprouting new leaves up the top. So I just kind of keep going up, and then you'll get to the point where they'll either go to seed at the top, or they just start tasting bitter, and you know that that's the end of that one. But anyways, I hope that was helpful.